NBC7's Nightly Check-In is sponsored by Bill Howe Plumbing, Heating and Air, Flood and Restoration.
We know how.
Back to the classroom. It's the first day San Diego schools can reopen campuses for in-person teaching with coronavirus safety protocols. And we're seeing what different campuses are doing for their comeback. Thanks for joining us for the Nightly Check-In. I'm Catherine Garcia. More than 24 East County schools are preparing to welcome students back inside the classroom as early as next Wednesday. The Cajon Valley Union School District will allow students to either continue full distance learning or a hybrid that will welcome them to campus under the same strict guidelines 2 days a week. Those guidelines include health screenings, regularly washing hands, wearing masks, and keeping 6 feet away from others at all times on campus. One parent we spoke with said, although it's been a stressful situation for everyone, we have to keep moving forward.
Every one of us, whether it's the school staff, the parents, the students, we're really trying our best. I think that everyone is doing what they can, whatever skill sets they have at their disposal to do their best, given the opportunities and the conditions that they have.
There are some numbers to support some parents' hesitation. According to the most recent statistics from the County of San Diego, El Cajon has more coronavirus-related deaths per capita than any other city in the county. In North Park, in-person classes resumed today at the Academy of Our Lady of Peace. This is what the all-girls Catholic school looks like right now. This is a high school. Masks, desks with plexiglass, and floor markers reminding students to keep a safe distance. The school has about 750 students. Every day, a different class year will return to campus. 15% of students will remain virtual. Gyms in San Diego have been given the green light to reopen, but only at 10% capacity. While some gym owners we spoke with say they're excited to get back, many of them are concerned over the limitations.
10% is not an easy number to deal with, but we're going to make do, and again, hopefully it increases in the very near future.
Owners at Fit Athletic Club and Gym in the East Village say they're happy to be back, but they won't be in business long if they have to continue operating at a 10% capacity. That 10% number basically accounts for gym employees. The center is part of a local chain of luxury gyms in San Diego that opened again today. There are still a number of gyms taking advantage of the mayor's executive order signed in July that allows for them to open for outdoor operations. Today's updated case rate remains at 5.8 per 100,000 people. This is measured weekly every Tuesday and is one of the 2 metrics that has allowed San Diego to be at the red tier level. If it goes above 7, it would put us in the purple tier. That's the worst tier. And if it goes below 4, it could move us into the less restrictive yellow tier. Today's positivity rate is 3.8%. In all, there are 38,871 confirmed cases. 6 more San Diegans have died. That brings the total to 688 deaths. Renters in our state can feel a little bit of relief, at least for a few more months, because overnight Governor Newsom signed a bill that would ban evictions for tenants who have not paid their rent since March 1st because of the pandemic. It would protect those renters through January 31st, 2021. The one caveat, though, is that tenants do have to pay at least 25% of rent owed during that time. The bill's author said he's aware the law is imperfect, but it's the best compromise they could reach right now. A special committee comprised of science, medicine, and engineering experts released a preliminary report for distributing a coronavirus vaccine in the U.S. if and when one is approved for public use. The group says the vaccine should be distributed in 4 phases, with healthcare workers, first responders, and vulnerable Americans getting it first. Finding a vaccine has been a priority and promise from the Trump administration. Now the head of the FDA is under fire after saying he's willing to fast-track a COVID vaccine if the benefits outweigh the risks.
There's a pressure to have something done, and they're bending and they're moving ahead without having really excellent clinical trial data to support the idea that this is going to work.
A new survey shows 78% of Americans worry the COVID-19 vaccine approval process is being driven by politics. But leading health experts say a vaccine would not be available until early 2021, well after the November election. Well, cooler today, but hotter as the week progresses. Dagmar joins us with the heat up after a quick break.
NBC7's Nightly Check-In is sponsored by Bill Howe Plumbing, Heating and Air, Flood and Restoration.
Call 1-800-BILL-HOWE. Bill Howe. We know how.
Bill Howe is a family-run company that is as diverse as their services, promotes employees from within, and gives back generously to the San Diego community.
I am Bill Howe.
I am Bill Howe.
We are Bill Howe. Because we know how.
Ending up seeing what will be one of the cooler days now, your Wednesday, until you get to about the early or the middle portion of next work week. But Wednesday for now looking good. Mostly sunny skies, a few clouds along the coast. You'll be at that low to mid 70 mark. Inland valleys, you'll see the low 80s. Mountains, you will be at that mid to upper 80 mark. So the heat is already beginning to build in there. For now, the deserts still stay around that 106, 7, and 8 mark. But again, as I mentioned, dangerous heat is on the way for this Labor Day weekend. So enjoy the cooler weather while you've got it. Your Wednesday is looking good.
The TSA is piloting a new self-service checkpoint device. This is part of a new effort to promote social distancing and reduce contact between officers and passengers. Right now, the device is being tested at Ronald Reagan Washington National Airport. Passengers approach the device and insert their own ID into the scanner for authentication rather than physically handing it to a TSA officer. The device also confirms flight information in real time. If it's successful after a 30-day test, the TSA says it could pop up in more airports across the country. We are less than a year now until next year's Summer Games in Tokyo, but our sights are already on 2028 too when the games return here to the U.S., Los Angeles specifically. The official LA 28 emblem was unveiled today. You can see here the logo looks to capture the city's diversity and creativity with that L and 28 kind of locked into place and the A being animated and changing, telling its own story of the city. This is the third time LA has hosted the Summer Games. They also hosted in 1932 and 1984. As always, NBC is your Olympic station. That's going to do it for our nightly check-in. If you're keeping up with all the exciting Padres news in recent days, how fun has that been? Make sure to subscribe to our On Fire podcast. Darnay Tripp and Derek Togerson have a new episode out breaking down those recent trades and the winning season. Have a great night.